Okay, retinols. So, retinol. Are you ready for the big boy? So, before I introduce the ZO products containing retinol, I'm going to explain what retinol is and why it's so important in maintaining a healthy, youthful skin. Okay, what is retinol? So, retinol, in its purest form, is the antioxidant derivative of vitamin A, which is a powerful ingredient that speeds up cell turnover and protects the skin from free radical damage. So the free radicals that do all the damage. It's the only ingredient scientifically proven to stimulate fibroblasts, which sit at the dermal layer of the skin, which, as we may or may not know, produce collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid. And in the skin, it's crucial in a healthy, youthful, vibrant-looking skin. Retinol works by absorbing into the skin and breaking down into retinoic acid, which affects the chemistry of the skin cells and behaviours. And what I mean by this is it wakes up the fibroblasts, which, as we know, are very lazy cells. If fibroblasts don't need to work, they won't. So let's quickly talk here about the dreaded word moisturisers and the roles that they play in putting the fibroblasts back to sleep. So over-the-counter moisturisers are high in moisture content, which is usually made up of oil, lipids and waters, which all sit on the top layer of the skin. Now, the ageing process officially starts at around 27 years of age, and this is really the age that we all start to notice the very subtle changes in skin and facial musculature. Now, we get a huge percentage of patients starting ZO Skin Health in their 40s, and this is normally down to a sort of exasperation with their current skincare and products. They've probably noticed that in their late 30s, the skincare, which has previously been good, is now just not cutting it, and they may have switched up or around the different brands available and maybe have started to use some of the more age-smart products, which are widely available over the counter. Now, moisturisers in this category are generally sold containing a higher moisture content because that's what we are yearning for, that hydrated feeling when we put a cream on after the shower, right? So what's actually happening here is that when we get older, intrinsically, things are changing. So hormonal changes, barrier function weakening, fibroblasts fast asleep, and the skin just feels thirsty for something. It might start to look a bit dull, a bit grey, texturally uneven, etc, etc. We've all been there, and that's why we are willing to pay lots of money for a face cream to try and fix this. So when you buy a moisturiser with a higher moisture content, it's generally more expensive. It's expensively reassuring, some might say. Well, here at Alistair Aesthetics, we're going to start a ban the moisturiser. We're going to start a revolution right here, because really the higher the moisture content on the surface of the skin, the less the fibroblasts have to work. So the fibroblasts are fast asleep, and every now and then shout up to the dermis from the epidermis, do you need anything? Collagen, elastin, hydration? The epidermis says, no thanks, we're all good up here, we've had a layer of this beautiful moisturiser, so you don't need to do anything. And the dermis thinks this is brill, yawns, shuts down and goes back to sleep. So by using these over-the-counter moisturisers, and there are some that are, they're so expensive, they're actually slowing down the skin turnover and therefore speeding up the ageing process. In fact, moisturisers become like a glue. It causes those superficial cells on the stratum corneum that should be sloughing off to stick flat and together. So an unhealthy skin looks like a Pringle, flat and curled up at the edges, and so light doesn't reflect on it. It looks a bit like looking through a frosted window. I've got a frosted window in the clinic, and I always use it as an example of what over-moisturised skin actually looks like. People will often describe their skin as looking dull, uneven, blackheads, oil and dry in places, and it's rough in texture. All of the above are down to an unhealthy cells that don't produce their own moisture. And because you are using a moisturiser, you're shutting your skin down and sticking dead old skin cells together that actually need to come off. A ZO skin cell is working hard and is full of hydration. So it looks like you're looking through a beautiful clear crystal window. Your skin is literally glowing. You know, people that use a ZO have that glow. So back to retinol. So retinols in the ZO Skin Health range are delivered to the dermis, and they will prod the fibroblasts to tell them to produce collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid. Therefore, you no longer need to rely on that moisturiser to provide external moisture, because your skin is naturally hydrating from within and the barrier function is functioning as it should do. Okay, so let's talk about the retinols available within the ZO Skin Health range. And firstly, we need to talk about the two different retinol delivery systems, because the products are categorised into how the retinol is delivered. Right, First, the slow release technology that's used in Radical Night Repair and Retinol Skin Brightener. Okay, so let's focus on these two products first of all. This is called an oleosome delivery system and uses slow release technology. The oleosomes consist of micron-sized spheres of emollient, plant oils and vitamin E surrounded by a phospholipid membrane and protein coat, which collapse and release their contents in the skin over time. Okay, so remember that, it's slow release. Okay, so once oleosomes contact the skin, they begin to release their content into the stratum corneum, which is the top layer of the skin, and includes the delivery of the loaded retinol. Now, not all oleosomes collapse at once, therefore the release of the retinol happens slowly and over time, and this allows product to be present for an extended period of time. So this means that the Radical Night Repair and the Retinol Skin Brightener works primarily at the epidermis, top layer, and a small amount will drizzle through to the dermis. So it's worth considering that when you are applying these products, and it will be in your protocol to proceed with caution, because you may apply them in the PM on day 1, think, oh, I'm all right to go for day 2 and day 3, and by day 3 your skin is peeling off because it's that slow release, it happens over time. So when we write your protocols, we will expect you to start off nice and slowly and build up tolerance over time, but that would be specific to your protocol, and we taught you through it anyway. So the second retinol delivery system is called the micro emulsion delivery system, and this is how wrinkle and texture repair works, and it zips straight down to the dermis. It's a much smaller molecule than in these two, and it hits the dermis like a sledgehammer. It allows for accelerated penetration in the skin and works primarily deep down at the dermis and secondary at the epidermis. Right, so I'm going to talk you through these products now individually. So let's start off with Radical Night Repair, and I'm just going to work through why I would prescribe these within your protocol. Now, firstly, we would never ever prescribe these retinols until you were tolerant to the fundamental 5. So you had at least 6 weeks on full protocol without any reaction. Right. Radical Night Repair, 1% retinol, oleosome delivered prescription grade retinol, works primarily at the epidermis and only a minimal amount at the dermal level, so more of a superficial product and therefore more anticipated reactions of redness, peeling and dryness. It's prescribed mainly in moderate and severe anti-aging protocols and can be used in 2 ways. Firstly, we will incorporate this into your daily protocol, and it's always applied in the PM. And remember, it's a Diva product, so it's a very special product, this. So it means it always has to go on last, okay? So it's always in the PM and it always goes on last. It's an amazing product for treating fine lines, fine to deep lines, sun damage and some textural issues. Great for tightening, smoothing, firming and sloughing off uneven skin tone and texture. It's got that RRS, so the redness reducing system unique to Zeo, and so will also reduce inflammation. So the idea is to use it every day, but you'll definitely have to start off slowly, so 2 to 3 times a week, as this product will cause redness, peeling, dryness, and all anticipated and all completely normal. These anticipated reactions will tend to creep up on you because like we said, when you first apply Radical Night Repair, it goes on beautifully and you wake up like nothing's happened and changed. And honestly, I've been there, so I know what I'm talking about. So patients tend to go for it and put it on maybe 3 nights running. Remember, it's slow release. So day 3, the peeling will start and it just looks awful. And it's why we like to hold your hand through any retinol journeys. This is part of the treatment and can be hard to tolerate, but we see it all the time. It's completely normal. So what if you cannot tolerate that peeling stage? Well, there are a couple of hydrating products that will help with this stage. So recovery cream and hydrating cream are great for this stage. You might need something during this stage about mid-afternoon. So if you apply it in the PM, the next day or the following day in the mid-afternoon, when you start to feel the heat and it starts to look like your face is falling off. And it does. Remember, it's all going to be worth it as you imagine that all that beautiful healthy skin that will emerge afterwards. Now remember, the majority of patients will push through this stage and will have their product in their protocol as a standard product, so they use it every day. Honestly, they do. And this is definitely a make it happen product, right? So if you want this skin, you want the best skin, you've got to use this. This will make it happen. If you want to let it happen, we've got products that will take you there in a slightly slower journey, but you'll get there. make it happen with this product. The second way to use Radical Night Repair is an at-home peel. Again, a lot of patients do this, you know, and they do it mainly in the winter months. And we had a lot of lockdown, during lockdown, a lot of patients did this at-home peel. But you must be tolerant to Radical Night Repair or another retinol on the protocol before you do it. And you can do this 2 to 3 times per year as a retinol boost. And you can either do a mild peel. So for 3 days, you do cleanser, 2 to 3 pumps of DPD and 5 pumps of Radical Night Repair, and expect 5 to 7 days of peeling, or a moderate peel. So 5 days of cleanser, 2 to 3 pumps of DPD and 5 to 8 days of peeling. I'm just going to quickly show you this product. When we did training, they send these products round. So we used to put Radical Night Repair on, and literally by the end of the training session, it had got rid of all kind of lines and wrinkles on your hand. It was just incredible. So we'll see what happens with that. It's like a gel consistency, and on it goes. Yeah, it smells like it's going to do the business as well. So that's the Radical Night Repair. Absolutely lovely. Right, okay, so we'll move on to wrinkle and texture repair now. So we'll leave that one there. Wrinkle and texture, I love this. I'm just going to show you before we start. This literally smells like it's, I love the smell of this. The wrinkle and texture is the one I use on my protocol. It smells almost like a nice TCP. Do you know that nice kind of medical smell? I absolutely love it. Didn't always like retinols, I have to say, but I do now. Okay, so wrinkle and texture repair is a 0.5% retinol. This is the microemulsion technology. Remember, it zips straight down and drops its retinol at the dermis. It's a very small molecule, drops it like a sledgehammer. It does. Better for more damaged skin, so deep lines and wrinkles, textural problems. Think Madge from Benidorm, you know Madge on a mobility scooter. She needs some wrinkle and texture, and it's used in severe anti-aging protocols, moderate pigmentation protocols, severe acne and severe redness protocols. It's brilliant. You can literally smell the power of this product when you put it on. You know good things are going to happen when you put this on. Again, it's a make it happen type of a product rather than a let it happen. You've got to be committed to this product. Helps maintain and production of collagen and elastin by using the Zeo Unique Complex Z Pro, which is a biomimetic protein complex. Remember, this works at dermal level mainly, so you are going to get redness, peeling and dryness, but maybe not as much superficially as Radical Night Repair. And in my experience, the peeling is slightly different. It's more of a textural type change with this one. This is just peeling. It's ideal to use this daily in your protocol, and many patients do build up and use this as a long-term product, so it's doable. Right, final retinol product I'm going to talk about is Retinol Skin Brightener. So this one is 0.25%. It comes in 3 strengths, 0.25, 0.5 or 1%. So this is used across all pigmentation protocols, mild, moderate and severe, okay? It's the same slow release technology as this, right? Remember, them two are the same. So primarily working at the epidermis and secondarily deeper at the dermis. So it works in the same way as Radical Night Repair, so you introduce this product slowly every other day or 3 to 4 times per week, and the idea is that you increase the frequency to every day. You can also play with the strength of the product here and increase that as well. As pigment inhibitors so same as the other pigment product Bright Alive, which we'll go through in a different presentation, and is the next step on the pigmentation protocols for lifting deeper pigment.